on Cinemax. If you're like me, always looking for a movie that's ahead of its time,
Hey, Mr. Hitman.
then go no further than 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. Look for it on Cinemax. Hey, remember when the Macarena was all the rage?
I started the Macarena, now everybody's doing it.
That's when Cinemax was dancing on the set of 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag with Joe Pesci, David Spade, George Hamilton, Diane Cannon, newcomer Andy Como, and writer-director Tom Schulman. 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag is this weird mix of mobster and screwball, kind of like Goodfellas meets Bringing Up Baby.
What a head case. Is that supposed to be a joke? Where are you going? Get your hands off Grandma!
On the mob side, there's Joe Pesci. Joe plays this wise guy delivering 8 heads cross-country to his kingpin boss.
I just play it straight ahead, you know. I don't play it to be funny or try to do anything funny. It's just that the stuff is so crazy, it's funny. Oh, pal, this goes right on. Wait, for God's sake, those are live human organs. Trust me, pal. They don't feel it.
When Joe's duffel bag with 8 heads in it undergoes the old switcheroo, the comedy kicks in, and David Spade appears.
Chopping off heads just takes it out of you, huh?
They let us come up with stupid jokes on the set, which is, if they fit, it's fun to throw in, but sometimes you're so rushed and stuff, you've already got the scene. But, you know, a guy like me is better at adding stuff.
Look at that! Yeah, get a new lens if you have to. Whatever it takes.
The cast loves Spade. This new guy, Andy Como, thought he was great.
He's constantly giving ideas, like inject ideas into the scene, something that could push it in a different direction or make it funnier.
Screen veteran Diane Cannon wanted to bear Spade's children.
David Spade is so cute. I just want to bite his cheeks.
Are you hungry, Bear?
And Joe nearly wet himself because Spade was so funny.
David Spade comes up with a lot of other stuff. He's just very dry.
Hey, Bill, is it? Tell me if there sounds like a phone hanging up.
Yeah.
Along for the ride was George, the man with the perfect tan Hamilton. He had nothing to say about David Spade, or skin cancer for that matter, but he did have this comment about Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci is one of my favorite actors, has been for a long time.
But the only person George loved was Diane.
Everything that everyone has heard about Diane Cannon is true and more. It's a roller coaster ride. When you work with Diane Cannon, you've got a person who's got a great heart.
And Diane loved George.
George is a doll. He's funny, he's witty, he is so funny.
Excuse me, could you hand me my bag, please?
Un momento, senor.
I don't have un momento. I have un plano to catcho. Got it?
Diane Cannon's great in 8 Heads. She hasn't been this funny since Revenge of the Pink Panther.
I was excited about the luncheon scene in the dining room because there wasn't a word of dialogue. From the time I leave his room, I don't have one word of dialogue. And for me, that presented a tremendous challenge to convey to the audience exactly what the author's intent is.
Tom Schulman, he wrote Dead Poets Society. Well, he wrote and directed this time around.
It escaped me how hard it was on the director, but I realize that now.
He and Pesci worked well together.
Joe has been very generous about saying, you know, here's how you should work this, and when you want me to do this, here's how you should tell me, and here's the best way, in my opinion, he would say, to talk to actors, and just wonderful stuff.
And for a first-time director, Joe was impressed.
He's got a lot of enthusiasm, you know. I mean, when everybody's tired from working 18 hours, Tommy's walking like Groucho Marx.
But what's really awesome are the heads. They look so real.
I had to pick one up. One of my first days, I mean, you could feel nose hairs and lips. It was weird. It was really weird. I couldn't hold it for very long.
Realism is the most difficult thing.
They actually punch in one hair at a time.
The trick is to get a nice, sparse hairline like a real hairline would be.
The heads look so real. It's just weird. I think it's good, though. I think they'll be a little creeped, but I think they'll be intrigued that it's a different, kind of a different movie.
So head to your TV and tune in to 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. Look for it on Cinemax.